Yeah, so I'll start by introducing myself. My name is Samuel Muriuki. I'm from Kenya. I'm a civil engineer by training. I'm not yet a professional engineer, but my small background, let me share my screen just a second. Uh, my background is structures. My background is in its structures. I'm more of a structural engineer. I'm not into civil work so much, but I believe, guys, you can confirm, you can see my screen. Guys, can you confirm you can see my screen?
Still loading.
Okay. Yeah, so just a slight introduction about myself. Just as I said before, my name is Samuel Muriuki. I'm from Kenya. I used to work for the local partner here in Kenya for Tekla and so Trimble. The mother company for Tekla is Trimble. And I also used to work for also the local partner was also an Autodesk partner. So I got quite some good exposure when it comes to Tekla products and Autodesk product. I'm also a certified Autodesk instructor, and I used to train on Autodesk product. I used to support the whole of East and Central Africa on the Autodesk products. Yeah, so ideally, that's my short introduction. I'm into a lot of mentorship of young engineers and just trying to open up our minds, just trying to open the young engineer's mind to be able to embrace technology and also use better tools and all that. Actually, the idea for the course came. I was working with a steel fabricating company here in Kenya. And then the idea came because I've always been interacting with a lot of consultants, because you find in steel design, we have a big deficit when it comes to steel design. So, and that's why the whole idea came in. So that's my small introduction. I've been doing this for now, I think now a year now. Now all these online courses, but ideally I decided to come up with a masterclass to separate both steel and concrete, to come up with some masterclass for very soon. We're going to roll out some few masterclasses for design of reinforced concrete and others. They're in the lineup. Or recently, I launched my small startup. Our small startup. We are a group of young engineers who are driven by technology. So we launched a small startup called Orbital Beam Solutions. Ideally, we are providing solutions, different technology solutions to the build environment. So where we're interacting with the contractors, engineers, giving them solution to their day in, day out small problems, where we use technology, we leverage the power of technology. Just like the way AI is transitioning, is transforming a lot of things. So we are trying to do that in this region of Africa. So one of the things we are doing is education. So we are trying to reach out to as many engineers as we can, and we try to impact them with knowledge, skills, and so on. So ideally, the whole idea behind this course, the masterclass, it's not only going to equip you with maybe skills for steel design and detailing, it will also give you confidence to be able to face the challenge out here. Because again, we are trying to make our curriculum as relatable as possible to what is happening out here. Because one of the key thing, we have done some research. One of the biggest problem young engineers, especially the graduate engineers, experience is just linking the knowledge they have learned in school and what is happening out here. So guys, karibuni sana, welcome so much in our first class. We'll be able to have a glimpse of what we shall be learning in the 8-week masterclass, where we are going to start from the basics, just the basic understanding how steel behaves, moving moving to modeling it in a software, understanding the loadings, understanding the analysis, understanding why this steel is deflecting, why this steel is behaving the way it is behaving. Then we move now to detailing, because remember, at the end of the day, in as much good you are as an engineer, you need to present your work to the guy who is on site so that they can be able to install the structure or fabricate the structure. So we're going to do two phases. We're going to do drawings that we can use to install the structure outside, and then we're going to do drawings that you can use to fabricate your structure. So I'm going to show you this we call assemblies. I'm going to show you things we call part drawings, and so on and so on. So I don't want to take so much time. So I'll just present the curriculum, and then we're going to jump into the software and just observe 2, 3. Just I show you a few softwares. Just I open up the softwares and just show you some few things, just as the highlight of the course, and move to the we also have one of my students who I trained actually the last cohort. He will be here presenting more of what we learned in that cohort, and so on and so on. So allow me to present our curriculum. This is just a glimpse of what will be. This is just a glimpse of what will be going on in the 8 week. So ideally, we'll first go through the content. So about the course, why the course, about the trainer, and so on. I think I've talked about myself. I did the chat in the. Okay, guys, please confirm whether you can hear me loud and clear. Guys, can you hear me loud and clear? Guys, can you hear me? Are you able to hear me, guys? I just confirmed, guys, you can hear me.
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes, we can.
Perfect. Okay. So, the general information about the course. The course is going to learn for 8 weeks. I know it might seem to be a lot of time, but actually it's not. It's very little time. So the schedule will be Mondays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. I know a lot of people, in my experience from all the other cohorts, Fridays have always been a crazy day for most people. So, so we ought to put the class on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, so that at least Friday, you know, a lot of people, they start their weekends on Friday. So we ought to put the class on Thursdays. Then flexible, it will be more flexible. The class will be a bit flexible because you're going to have just 2 hours per session. And in the middle of those 2 hours, we're going to have a 10-minute break, just take a cup of water. Then the format will be live Zoom plus weekly assessment and tests. So we're going to have weekly assessments on whatever we learn. That week, we are going to have an assessment. And that assessment is what is going to guide us on the progress of our students and how far they have gone or how much they have understood. So we'll be sharing formats on how you're supposed to submit your assessment, and so on and so on. So the project we're going to tackle an industrial frame structure. It will be a portal frame with a mezzanine. And the structure will be just like a warehouse. So for the mezzanine is some kind of a storage. And ideally is a factory building. So ideally, what you're going to be tackling more of is design. We'll actually do the structural analysis and design. So we are going to design our columns, we're going to design our rafters, we're going to design our girders, we're going to design our mezzanine, and so on and so on. Ideally, the first step, the first 3 weeks, and actually that's where we have focused so much. The much time is spent on the first 3 weeks, where we are going to do hand calculations, where we're going to, ideally, we are going to tackle first principle. So first principle is where we're going to understand the dynamics of how steel behaves, and this is where we are going to engage ourselves in activities where we are going to understand of course, we are going to be guided by codes, we are going to be guided by books, where we're going to understand, but we have all that prepared for you guys, so you don't really have to struggle or peruse a lot of pages. We have those things structured. Then after that, remember, we are going to spend 3 weeks because we believe in building a very strong foundation when it comes to design. Because again, at the end of the day, all these softwares we're trying to introduce here, like Tekla Structural Designer and Tekla Structures, at the end of the day, they're just tools. Our main theme, our main idea is, if you have the skills, they don't limit you to just use Tekla Structure Designer or Tekla Structures. You can use a different tool so for us, our focus, it's not really on the softwares. Our focus is really on the skill, and that's where we're going to spend most of our time. And so that to try and show you guys and make you guys understand all what goes in when it comes to steel design. Then, of course, for the standard, we are going to use strictly Eurocode. And for the national annexes, we are going to use UK national annexes for most of our references and so on. So this course will provide a comprehensive approach of steel design, just like I had mentioned before, starting from basic principles. You're going to understand the grades of steel. When you hear a steel named S275JR, you need to understand what is that. Or maybe a high tensile steel, carbon steel, and so on and so on. We'll understand the differences. We'll actually understand the differences. Then the approach to steel design, starting from basic, then ensuring that we are going to ensure, because most of you are young engineers, we're going to ensure you're going to have a solid foundation on steel design and detailing. I believe, even if in most of us, one thing we understand is that whenever you are laying a foundation, you need to make your foundation as strong as possible. So at least we're going to give you a better start, kickstart on your steel career, and so on. And then from there, about myself, this is about myself, just that's my photo there. Right now, I'm a civil engineer, so BIM expert. Yeah, I've been involved in a lot of BIM projects. Actually, there's one project I'm actually doing on BIM right now. Please mute yourself. There's actually one project I'm doing on BIM right now. I actually left employment and just decided to pursue my own path, and again, just to pursue my own things. So ideally right now I'm not employed. I'm more of a freelance guy, and also I do a lot of projects. I train a lot of young engineers and so on and so on. So life, I think life transitions as you go. So in a glimpse, let me just hide these. In a glimpse, we are going first off. The first week is where we are going to have let's say module 1. Okay, so this module 1 will tackle the fundamentals of steel design to Eurocode, into bracket first principle. So this means we are strictly going to understand how all these things comes together. So we're going to understand all these how come together and so on. Before we even jump to our tools, the tools we're going to use, that is TSD, Tekla Structural Designer, and Tekla Structure. So in our module 1, that is week 1 to week 3. So we're going to tackle week 1, so introduction of structural behavior. So this is where we are going to understand introduction of steel design to Eurocode and Eurocode. So we are going to also introduce ourselves to Eurocode. So when I say introducing ourselves to Eurocode, we need to understand which Eurocode are we going to reference whenever we are designing steel, and that is Eurocode 3. So you have to understand how the structure of Eurocode is structured and how you are supposed to read Eurocode, okay? Then we're going to understand the design philosophy and remit states. So when you talk about remit state, we ideally talk about two things, the ULS and SLS. So we're going to understand how ULS affect our structural members and how SLS affects our structural member. And again, that encompasses things to do with loading. So that is week 1. Then week 2, we are going to start now what we call the member design. So we're going to understand how do you design different types of steel structures. So in our case, we're going to design a portal frame. So a portal frame ideally is like a tension structure. So we're going to understand how we're supposed to take care of our columns, how we're supposed to take care of our rafters, how we're supposed to take care of our beams, and so on and so on. So we're going to understand that. So we're going to understand tension and compression members design. We're going to understand about bending and shear, all those checks. And then we are going to understand about combined bending and axial force. But inside there, we have so much things to discuss and so much things to go about. Then week 3, we are going to understand. Remember, this is, let me call it quote unquote, is a theory class. Let me just put it like that. But it's just to build our strong foundation so that you don't ask me, why are you putting 4 bolts there instead of 2 or instead of 1? So week 3, we are going to understand different types of connections and frame analysis. So this is where we are going to discuss about bolted and welded connections, then structural frame system. So this is where we talk about frame structures, we talk about multi-story structures, and so on. And then finally, we are going to do a bit of manual group analysis so that at least we try, you can even verify the software. Then we jump into module 2. So module 2 will span from week 4 to week 5, where we are going to start now the tool. Let me call it or rather I call it the software. So this is where you're going to do now the Tekla structural designer. Of course, I know most of you maybe are new to the software. We're going to start with the modeling week 4. So that week 4 will cover modeling and analysis. So modeling analysis, this is where I'm going to introduce the software to you. That is things to do with the user interface, things like shortcuts and so on and so on. Then we move to load application and combination. Then we start structural analysis. That's week 4. Then week 5, we start design and optimization in Tekla Structural Designer. Remember, in as much our design they need to be safe, and again we need to check on cost optimization and so on. So you can design a safe, you can give the client a safe design, but you have over designed. So we will be striking a balance between the cost aspect and the structural integrity aspect. So we'll be striking a balance there. So week 5, that will be design optimization. Then we'll have what we call now the member design check. This is where you're going to interact with their design. We're not just accepting what the software gives us. We need to investigate and understand why the software is giving us those sections. Then we'll talk a bit of foundation design in steel structures. This ideally, we are going to cover things like the bases, and again, things like to do with stub columns. So we're going to cover that. And then finally, we are going to do reports and drawing. So reports and drawing is just generating, outputting fast drawing, because Tekla Structural Designer, you can do pretty fast. You can just do some few outputs of the drawings just for presentation and so on. But our detailed design drawing, we're going to develop them in Tekla Structure. So week 6 to week 8, that is module 3. We only have 3 modules in this curriculum. So module 3, this is where we are going to introduce now another tool, that is Tekla Structural Designer, where we are going now to develop our drawing. So this is where I'm going to introduce Tekla Structural Designer, steel member and custom components. So we have components that help us when you're designing, then when you're detailing, then we have connection modeling and so on. Then week 7, after we are done with bordering, so week 7, we are going to tackle things to do with workshop drawings and fabrication drawings and all that. That is drawing generation. We are going to learn what we call the general assembly drawings, and all that. So customizing templates, we run how you can insert your logos of your companies in your drawings and so on. Then we shall do some crash checking and revisions so that at least you're able to track the updates on your project. And now finally, week 8, we are going to do what we call the project finalization and review. you guys, there is a format I'll give you guys to be sharing your models each and every, because for the milestone and tests, I'll be reviewing your models. So you'll be sharing your models so that I can be able to review them. Then for the finalizing, we're going to do the finalizing of the model. Then we are going to do the site assembly and erection drawing site consideration. So these were a lot of things we need to consider. These are things like the length of our members, because again, for us, there are two things that limit us when it goes to site: the equipment you have and the length. So, for instance, you have a crane that has a maximum capacity of 10 tons. You cannot do an assembly that is over 10 tons because you won't have a crane to lift that assembly. So we are going to, I'll be showing you how to optimize such things. And finally, we are going to do presentation. So each one of us will be able to show us what they have learned, what were the challenges, and what were the recommendations. So it will be a presentation and review. And then finally, we are going to have a final assessment and project submission. So ideally in agreements, that's exactly what we're going to be covering in the 8 weeks of our masterclass. And in between, in our masterclass, we're going to have a lot of interaction. Remember, it's a class where in all our cohorts, for the people who have maybe attended most of my previous classes, that it's more of an interactive class. It's not a class where like all what I say goes, because at the end of the day, each one of us has their own mind, and each one of us, we are free to have our own independent thoughts and so on. So it's a class where we allow people to question. We allow you to be able to recommend something and so on and so on. So it's an open class ideally, and it's a flexible class. It's a, how will I put it? It's a free, let me not say it's a free class. People might misunderstand, but it's a class where you are open to learn, and you're open to innovate, to come up with your own ideas. So we'll be a team of 4 guys. Actually, we'll be a team of 4 guys. So I'll be mainly holding the main classes. I'll be mainly holding the main classes. I'll be doing the lectures most of the time. And then we are going to form groups. We are going to form actually groups depending on the number of people who are going to enroll. We're going to form more groups. So on those groups, we are going to have one guy who will be assisting you where you are stuck. So throughout, the guys will be with you, assisting you where you are stuck. Not even throughout the course, not even through the course, even after the course. We normally do those things we call hand holding, where you have projects we can help you with. Whenever you have a problem, you can always reach out to us. I have guys I trained last year January. We are still in contact. They still contact me even today to ask me whenever they are stuck. They have started now doing their own projects. So whenever they are stuck, they always contact me. So ideally in agreements, that's the whole idea of the course. Just to show you, just a second, just to show you, just to show you agreements. Yeah, these are the notes. So we're going to understand what actually understand what steel is. So we're going to understand what steel is. So steel, we are going to understand the history of steel and so on and so on, production of steel. We're going to understand all exactly what, so that at least whenever you are doing your design, you will understand what it takes to become a steel design engineer and so on and so on. So if I just minimize my presentation and open up, I just want to do this for maybe 5-10 minutes and just open up TSD. This is the class structure designer I'm launching. I'll be showing you, of course, I've been using it for some time, so don't worry if I'm fast. I'm just showcasing what we are going to be, what actually we are going to be modeling. So ideally, we are going to be modeling the portal frame from scratch. Of course, we're going to first of all do the member sizing. We do what we call the preliminary member sizing. So on the preliminary member sizing is where you give the sizes of those members before you now run your designs. Okay. So now once we do that, then we model. So I have few structures here I had modeled. So for instance, I have do I have a frame structure here? Just a second. Let me just open up. There's a small structure I haven't finished modeling here. So we actually do something like this, but much bigger and much with mezzanine and portal frame and rafters and purlins and all that. So we'll do something like this, simple. We can actually even define, you can see all these cubes you see here, those are connection. You can actually define that connection. And actually I'll be just showcasing, it's not part of the class, but I'll just showcasing how you can export this connection with all the moments and all the shear force, to a software where you can design that connection. So for those people who maybe have never seen technical structure designer. So this technical structure designer. This is where we shall be able to learn all this design modeling, analysis, and all that, so that at least we can be able to come up with a solid design that we are going to take it to technical structure design, technical structures for detailing. So,
sorry for the interruption.
Yeah.
There's a concern from one of our members that something is covering the top of the screen. I think it should be Zoom. Could you minimize it so that they can see the whole software?
Okay. Let me minimize it. Yeah, so I believe now I've minimized everything. So okay.
Yeah,
okay.
At the top it's minimized, but there's something in the middle of the screen.
Middle, this one.
Yes, there's something in the middle. Yeah, now it's okay.
Okay. So now these ideally these are what we're going to just showcase and understand and learn. Yeah, so you can see the user interface of the software is pretty much straightforward. You have the integration, model, edit, load, analyze, design. It's actually arranged in a very systematic way to provide you a better workflow when you're designing. So we're actually going to be learning that. So now, once we are done modeling, and analysis and so on, we are going to move to now technical structures. So now these technical structures, okay? So for these technical structures, let me just open up a project I'm just finishing up detailing right now. I need to finish it. Actually, I need to finish it tonight so that tomorrow they can do fabrication. So it's actually a small petrol station I'm doing somewhere. So you can see these are project. So these technical structures, these now technical structures where we are going to understand things like this connection. So these are connection. We normally call it a splice connection. So we're going to understand why are we using a splice connection instead of us just welding this member? Because you can just weld these two beams here. Why are you using a splice connection or just welding? So we're going to understand why have we used this connection here, and why does it have a plate inside here? You can see it has a plate inside here. Okay, and why exactly are we using 4 bolts, and what is the size of the bolts? So we're going to understand all that, because ideally we need to create a solid background. So we'll come and understand why are we putting a base plate that is, for instance, this base plate I did here is 10 mm thick. Why are you using a base plate that is 10 mm thick? And why are we not using a base? Maybe we are not using a base plate that is 15 mm thick. We're going to understand. We're going to understand all that. We're going to understand all that in our. Then finally, we are going to be able to come up with with drawings. There's something called the GA drawing. So let me just open up one of the drawings. One of the drawings I've done. Just a second. Let me just open up drawing I've done using the. Let me just a second. Just a second. So we'll understand drawings, you understand different layouts, you understand layout drawings, and so on and so on. You can see this kind of a drawing. We're going to be presenting different the base plate, these are base plate layouts, the plan, the sections, and so on. You can see we have the sections and all this. So by the end of the class, you should be able to come up with your own drawings. You should be able to come up with your own fabricating drawings and so on and so on. So I think I'll pass the let me not say the microphone, but I'll pass the lead to one of my student, or let me call him one of my students. We were with in the last cohort. I think he can present. Actually, he's going to present the actual model we used for that training, and actually the same model we are going to use for this same training. So Ahmed, are you in a position where you can share your screen?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, let me share my screen.
Just a second. Let me stop sharing mine.
Zambian. He's good.
Yes, please mute yourself, King Basanka. King Basanka, please mute yourself.
Hello guys, my name is Ahmad Sabri. I am from Kenya, and it's a pleasure to have you guys with us. As our tutor mentioned, I was in the previous cohort, and this was the model that we did. Okay, one thing I can say about my experience under Samuel's mentorship was that it was quite a game changer for me, because in school the design class it's usually just the fundamentals, and we are taught how to design a column, we're taught how to design a beam, and compression and tension members in general. But I feel like there's a gap, specifically when it comes to holistic design and detailing. And one thing I can say is that after taking this course, or as I was taking this course, and it's the same phenomenon, the same experience I had when I learned RC modeling, that is before joining the steel design classes, is that it completely changes your perspective when it comes to appreciating the infrastructure in your region. I'll give an example. So, I mean, there are lots of steel bridges or steel overpasses in Nairobi. And usually when that is before the training, when I pass by such steel structures, whether they are story buildings or overpasses or footbridges, I never really appreciated them. I just use them as, our country's infrastructure. But then the moment I started learning about, each and every steel member, why they are used, each and every connection, and remember, for every member to member combination, there is, a specific connection. I started appreciating my local infrastructure even way more than before. And what do I mean by that? What I meant is that I became obsessed with the details. So whenever I come across a steel structure such as this one, I will be so keen as to look at how the designer or the fabricator made each and every connection, each and every member. And at some point, I even stopped to take photos and send them to my tutor and tell them, "Oh, I remember this is something that you taught us." And I think that's really a game changer, because
one thing I appreciate about structural engineering is that your classroom is not limited to the online trainings and whatever you get in university. Your classroom is literally the infrastructure right around you, and this is especially the case for steel, because in concrete most of it is hidden. I mean, most of what we design in concrete are, apart from the member sizes, are the reinforcements which are actually hidden. But I came to appreciate steel more because a lot of it is exposed. When I pass by a steel structure, I'd actually learn something new. Say, for example, we have a fish plate here, just to give you guys a perspective on what I'm talking about. So as you can see in this fish plate, the silver one is actually the fish plate, is actually the connection between these two braces. These are braces. And this one is actually welded and this one is bolted. So another designer will actually have a different perspective. Maybe he will weld this and this. Another designer will perhaps cut this one and still weld them. So you get to learn different ideas, not just the one that our mentor is going to teach us. You get to learn from your local infrastructure, and you get to be more keen or appreciate what is around you. That has been my experience, and I've been so obsessed with that. And that obsession led me to really love a certain tool in Tekla structures that's called the visualizer. So when you come here and you say visualize all by something that I already generated. So this is like, I think most of us know about renders, right? The rendering tools that architects use. So I became really obsessed with this because I could visualize what I built in the Tekla structures model, and we can just have a perspective. This is something that I had created when I was playing with this tool. It's called Tekla Trimble Connect Visualizer, and it's kind of a quick way to render your model that you made, and it's actually very useful, especially when you want your client to see what you molded for them. That is before they decide to actually fabricate and build it. And let me just play this to give you a perspective. So the reason why I created this was just out of my obsession. When after I took these classes, I just became obsessed with steel, the steel structures, that is. And whenever I pass by such a structure, I will take photos. I will spend some time looking at the different connections, and I think that's what made me really obsessed with this rendering tool. And yeah, we're going to show you guys how to use it. And whenever any one of us is stuck or anything, or if in case anything happens while you're modeling, I'd be glad to actually support you. Especially, it's not every time that our mentor is available. And as he mentioned, we're going to be about a team of about 4. So I'll be here to support you guys. One thing I can promise you is that this is a game changer. This software is a game changer, and it will completely, I would say, change the way you think about steel structures. And the same thing happened to me when I learned structural, concrete modeling. I used to go to site before I learned how to model and detail. And you go there and you see the reinforcements in the slab, and all you can tell is that this is a reinforcement for the slab, this is a reinforcement for the beam, but you can't really appreciate it unless you actually learn how to detail. After I learned how to detail, I could actually point out the mistakes being done on site. And that is how it changes you. When you learn how to produce such drawings, you get to appreciate the infrastructure around you, and you can even point out mistakes. Mind you, I can easily notice mistakes being done with steel structures simply because I learned how to model. I haven't even gotten to the design part, say. And if you get into the design part, your perspective will broaden. Yeah, so we are here to support you guys. If anyone is stuck, during when you're doing your deliverables. This is quite one thing I can promise you is that it's quite interesting, and you're going to see that with time. It might look a bit intimidating, but I can promise you, so long as you put in your time and your efforts around it, you're going to master it. So even for me, at first, the software was seemed difficult, but with time, bit by bit, baby steps, it gets easy with time, and you get to enjoy it actually. Yeah, so that's all from me. I think from here we can take in any questions.
Yeah, and just to add something on top what Ahmed has mentioned is that for the first time you're going to have an experience where you're going to give all the people who will be in Kenya. So all the people who are in Kenya, who are locally here in Kenya, we're going to organize a visit. We're going to organize a visit where we're going to visit one of our big steel fabricating companies here in Kenya. And you guys get a chance to understand what goes on to the preparation of the material, to the cutting, to the drilling, to the all those. You see those equipments. They normally have some very expensive equipments. They cost millions of money to clean the bars, to clean the steel and all that, to paint and all that. So I think that's something we have really. I've talked with some guys. They have really accepted, and so that's something. Once we are done with the Steel Masterclass, we shall be able to visit them. Of course, we're going to plan. The other thing I did mention is that at the end of the class, you're going to get a Tekla certificate, a legit Tekla certificate. And also you're going to get another certificate from, all our courses are now powered by Orbital Beam Solutions. So you're going to get a certificate of participation from Orbital Beam Solution. And after that, you're going also to get all these things to do with the hand holding and so on. So you'll be handheld. So I was just looking at the comment, Emmanuel. There's this guy called Emmanuel Kehinde. So he's saying that this is loaded, thinking 8 weeks won't be enough. Yeah, it's actually something we are. It's not really something we are aware of that, but what we have tried to come up with, we'll be providing you with quite a number of resources for you to be able to read, because some of these things, we might find that some of these things some of these things we might really per se not really cover here in the class, but we have tried to develop something that will cover as much as possible, because a lot of things we shall be giving you a lot of handouts, a lot of video presentation, a lot of recording. We shall be doing recordings where I'll be explaining further on something. So ideally, guys, the 8 weeks will cover all that. So I can see there's another question. Sir, will it be fine to make 3 different models in Tekla structures? 1 truss, 1 industrial building, 1 3 to 4-story building, to get to know the software in depth? Not really. I beg to differ with that, Zia. It's more of because ideally when you model a portal frame and a mezzanine structure, we would have already covered most of these tools we use to do all the other structure you have seen, 1 industrial building, 3 4-story structure, because a 3 4-story structure is just like a mezzanine that are stacked together. The only thing that changes is just the sections of the columns, because you need to do heavy columns there so that they can support the multi-story. So ideally, most of these ideas, we don't really need to model, because again, this is a start. You see, this is a start. We are kickstarting careers of many engineers. So ideally, we might not really model all this model. We are going to have 1 model, 1 design, 1 detailing, and so on. So ideally, that's the whole nini. And what about a composite structure, sir? So ideally, for a composite structure, what we'll do on top of a mezzanine, I'll be showing you how to do the slabs. But for a composite structure, is more of a structure where you have both concrete and steel together. So ideally, you cannot. It's either you have encased your columns with the steel, or and so on. Yeah, ideally. So we have Yusuf. Yusuf is thanks for the presentation. Yusuf, you're welcome. Are you going to teach how to export drawing from Tekla Structure to AutoCAD for more understanding and how to be able to work with drawings on AutoCAD? Of course, at the end of the day, you need a DWG viewer. You need a DWG viewer where you're able to view your drawing. So ideally, I'll be showing you how to export your drawings in AutoCAD, and you can be able to edit them. You can be able to explode them and edit them. Any other questions? Any other questions? Any other question? Any other questions, guys? Yeah,
Actually,
Zia.
here, can you guys still see my screen? Could you confirm if you can still?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
yes,
visible. It's
we
visible.
Yeah. So just to add on the answer on AutoCAD drawings, as you can see here, we have an export option where you can export in form of different kinds of files, including a Trimble Connect, where you can actually host your model online. Yeah.
And the good thing for the BIM workflow, for the what we call the BIM workflow, you don't really need to. I'll be showing you. You don't really need to have to model again in integral structures. The only thing, the only thing, the only thing you need to do once you model your model in Tekla Structure Designer, you can only just import it in Tekla Structures. So we'll be learning how to link both softwares, we're going to define the sections and the properties and so on. Yeah, Hilary, sir, will be the final design? Let me just Zia, will be the final design outcome of the structure that will look like at the end of. Yeah, definitely. We're going to do such a kind of because at the end of the day, we are going to give the whole outcome, just the way you have seen it. Hilary Kamau, in your presentation, I haven't seen you mentioning RC footing where your model receipt. Perhaps you could elaborate on this. Yeah, definitely. Remember, we talked about foundation design. We talked about foundation design where you're going to model our bases and we're going to model our stub columns. Yeah, that's the must. That's a must, Hilary. So we'll do that. To all, I think this presentation is just pure highlight of what we can expect to learn throughout the course. Of course, it's a pure highlight. For those people who want to know the most of these things, maybe you can you enroll the course at. Or Michael, I would also like to see the drawings, final outcome of this course. Will we also be able to produce material? Definitely. One of we'll also be able to provide a bill of materials. And because the difference between a bill of material and BOQ is that the BOQ has the rate aspect. So ideally, it's like we're doing the same. We'll be doing the same. Will you provide us with slides at the end of each session? Yes, we have. Not even at the end of each session. So we again for each session it has its own supporting material. So we'll be providing that as we move. Then we have. Can you let us see a sample of the final drawing, showing assembly part? Yeah, definitely. I'll be showing you that at the end of the class. Actually, Ahmed is able to open up. These are assemblies. These are general assembly drawing, a GA. How are we going to install the software? Of course, I'll be guiding you on how to get a student license. You'll get a student license valid for 1 year. That's the software we're going to be using for training. Are we using Eurocode 3 and will we add TEDs to the masterclass? No, not at this point, Duncan. We're not going to add TEDs, but I'll show you how to check your design in Tekla TEDs. I'll show you how to, but we're not really going to focus so much on Tekla TEDs. Yeah, what are the requirements of getting both TSD and TS installed in our devices? Is it part of the package? Yes, it is part of the package. Brian, yeah, it's part of the package. Yeah, thank you for the presentation. It's powerful. Although I seek to understand from you, what is the difference amongst Tekla structural software? Yeah, actually, King Bisaka, these are very good questions. Most people, they get confused when it comes to these softwares. They really get confused. Ideally, when you talk about Tekla Structure Designer, that's a software to do structure analysis and design. Okay, that's a tool that does structure analysis and design. And when I talk about Tekla structures, it's strictly for detailing, structure detailing. It details both reinforced concrete and steel. So as we shall be seeing. Then we have Joshua. I request the session to be recorded just in case someone misses the live session. Yes, the session is being recorded, and we actually will be sharing the session with you guys tomorrow. The certificates also of participation. No, the certificate of Tekla is a certificate. We are going to get a certificate of steel detailing. So we are going to get a certificate of steel detailing. Actually, you're not going to get 2 certificates. You're going to get 3 certificates. You're going to get first certificate for Tekla Structural Designer, fundamentals of Tekla Structural Designer. You're going to get another certificate for Tekla Structures, and you're going to get another certificate from us, Orbital Beam Solution. The other one, Tekla Structural Designer, is for detailing. Yes, TSD is for analysis and design. Exactly. Yes, Genial, or yeah, whichever the name is. Thanks for that. Yeah, correct. That's true. Any other questions? Guys? You can see a couple of drawings. Ahmed is displaying on the screen. So we're going to be doing such. We're going to be having such an instance. We're going to be doing such an instance. Any other question? Yes. The certificate are from Trimbo itself. Will we be shown how to model trusses and space? Oh, so you are talking about space truss. Okay, it's something I can just touch on. It's something because ideally in our model, in our structure, we are going to mainly focus on portal frames and that. Yeah, but ideally it's something we can touch on, Brian. Yeah. Will all the lecture be provided to us in recording form in the end of each lecture? Yes. So all the lecture will be will be shared a link. So we also advise you to be downloading those lecture. So there's a guy, I don't know if there's already Migisha is she saying how much. So for the class it's discounted for students. So for students it's 50%, actually 50% discounted for student. If you're a student, you have a discount. You're going to pay $75, and if you are a profession, you're going to pay $150. So it is counted for students. I recommend before starting modeling, use Tekla software. Guide us to install the software. I got an issue in trying to install it. Perfect. If you have enrolled for the class, definitely you'll get all the help to install the software. That's not a problem. Then we have the other guy, which is Manuel. I don't want certificate. What I need is skill praise. It's okay. Actually, for us, certificate is not really because you can have the certificate and not have the skill. So ideally, that is our focus. You're right, Emmanuel. Our focus is skills, is not the certificate. Is there a WhatsApp group or something where I can chat and know each other? Yeah, definitely we can chat. I think we'll drop our number here. So how to register and pay? I think Ahmed, just drop our WhatsApp number there. Then they can reach to us there. Yes, what are the payments methods? So depending on where we are, we have different payment method. You can pay through. For those people who are in Nigeria, they are experiencing some issues when it comes to paying with Visa and all that. So you're in Malawi. Do you have there are guys who are asking me to even use Binance. So we all have those payments. We have bank transfer, we have Binance, we have PayPal, we have Paystack, we have all those forms of payment. For the people who are in Kenya, we have M-Pesa, we have direct bank deposit and all that. What is required to prove that I am a student? Basically, you only need to send us your send us your in our WhatsApp. You only need to send us your student ID that is matching the image because I think that's in as much even if you lie, Brian, I am a student. You're not a student. That rough is not for a student. So that's the orbital. That's the orbital contact. You can just drop.
Yeah, we'll take them. That's why you see most
please.
of
Wilfred,
jobs on LinkedIn.
Wilfred, meet yourself, Wilfred. Kindly meet yourself, Wilfred. Then for TSD, will you teach irregular structures for deeper second order analysis? Will be discussed. Yeah, definitely, it will be discussed because for a portal frame, you cannot design a portal frame without second order. So create a WhatsApp group and give us the link to join. Okay, kindly, Aime, please WhatsApp that. Kindly, just WhatsApp that. Just WhatsApp that number. Just WhatsApp that number, and you'll be assisted. Any further questions, guys? Any further questions, guys? Yeah, we definitely give you a recording for this. We'll give you a recording for these sessions. Any further question, guys? I did not want to keep you so much, and that's why we are because if you yeah, you'll get there. Yeah, guys, let them create. My guys will create a WhatsApp group. Just add you guys. They'll just add you guys here. A guy will create a WhatsApp group. Yeah, the link will be added here, so you can just join that WhatsApp group. The link will be pasted in a few. Okay. I think WhatsApp group is better because we can know each other. Yeah, definitely. Cool. Which code are we using? Yeah, we're using Eurocode. Lydia, which code are you guys using in where you are? And please type the country you are in and which code you guys are using. Kindly, just do that. We will, of course, Ahmad will email everybody. Everybody will email. Don't get it within 12 hours. Just contact here. Oh, you're in Canada. Pleasure to meet you. What is the time in Canada right now? 2 p.m. 2 p.m. Right now is about 9:06 p.m. Hilary Kamau, Kenya BS. Oh, no, Kenya. You know, we are transitioning to Eurocode, so we ought to just do Eurocode. But again, you can still. I actually don't really see the big differences when it comes to the code. But yeah, Joshua, then you're in Australia. Karibu sana. I hope you'll be joining us, Joshua. What's the time in Australia, Joshua, right now? Guys, I want to give you a challenge, guys. I want to give you a challenge right now while we're in this call, and maybe somebody can verify that and just type on the group. Just go on LinkedIn because I believe most of you even have known about me on LinkedIn. Just go on LinkedIn and look at how many jobs are being offered there for Tekla detailers and for Tekla designers and all that. Just go right now and yeah, just go there. Yeah, Brian, will there be a presentation for generation of parts drawing also? Yes. I have noticed assembly drawings being shared. Yes, there'll be of course we learn how to create single part drawings. We normally call them single part drawings. Oh, you're talking about link of my link. You're talking about my link. Maybe guys, you can share the link.
Yeah, I'm gonna share the link in a few.
Okay, also share the link,
Yeah.
link for the WhatsApp group. Just can you share the link for the WhatsApp group, guys?
Yeah, that one too. In a few.
Okay. I missed half of the session. So please provide the recorded. I hope the recorded will be provided. What is the option of software accessibility after 1 year when the student version has expired? That's a very good question, Brian. So the option for accessibility, ideally right now so there are two ways, or actually there is one way you can do it. You can just create what we call another email address and just register, or you can write to Trimble. You can also write to Trimble, and Trimble will extend your license. Okay, Brian, where are you from? You're from Kenya? Yeah, guys, the link for the WhatsApp group has been pasted there. The link for the WhatsApp group has been pasted. Brian, you're from Zambia, but you're from Kenya, right, Brian? You're from Kenya working in Zambia, or you are Zambian, Brian? Because the name, you mean you have a name like Kenya? We have a Kenyan called like you, yeah. Okay. I thought you're from Kenya. You have gone to work in Zambia. All the links, yeah. Brian Mundia Sitali. Yeah, that's a name from that's a name. You can find somebody in Kenya with that name. Any further question, guys? Anybody who has enough courage to just say hi to us and don't just talk on the chat, just say hi to us. Is there anybody who wants to say hi to us?
Can I add on something?
Yeah.
Yeah, so guys, one thing I can really insist is on the method of learning. Just a moment. Yeah, so as I was saying, it's usually encouraged one to learn by doing, meaning just watching the tutorials itself is not enough. And you really have to practice to actually appreciate. Because from my experience, whenever I watched a tutorial or say the recording of a class, in my mind, I will imagine that I've already mastered it. But as soon as I start modeling, I realize that I might get stuck somewhere, and I realize that I just brushed through a detail that the tutor actually went through. In essence, you don't know what you don't know. So you really have to practice to actually understand how the software works. It's not enough just to watch the classes and think that it's actually very easy. It actually seems easy. Yes, it is easy, but you have to practice. You have to do, say, what the tutor is doing, and also, and this is something I really emphasize on, and something I used to do a lot during the classes when we were taking the classes, was trying to do it in a different way and showcasing it to the other students. And I imagine if everyone tries to be as creative as possible, we are going to learn a lot from each other. I mean, even our tutor is going to might learn something from you, his student. Another thing that I'd like to advise is to learn by teaching. And as he mentioned, was that depending on the number, we're going to be divided into different groups. And one of the purposes of those groups is peer mentorship. Remember, the more you teach something, the more you understand it yourself. So in a way, you're helping your peer, but also you're helping yourself. And I read about a quote, but I don't know if it's actually by Einstein, but it's attributed to Einstein, is that if you can't explain it to a young child, if you can't explain something in a simple manner, then that means you don't actually understand it. So one of the best ways to learn, other than learning by doing, is actually learning by teaching. So that's something that really helped me, because we were actually helping each other, as a previous cohort. Some of my fellows will actually reach out to me, and I will actually reach out to my fellows. And I think that's, very productive. Thank you.
Yeah, will certificate mention whether the participant was a student or a professional? No, the certificate will not mention. Of course, the technical certificate will not mention that, but our certificate of participation can always mention whether that person was a profession or a student. Which idea, if you have skills, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter so much.
Portfolio beats certificates.
Yeah, portfolio beats certificate.
So what I talked about on learning by teaching is actually was actually developed in detail by Richard Feynman. You can actually look him up and look up the Feynman technique to get more in-depth understanding.
Yeah, there's somebody who's asking, what will make us trust you as far as money is concerned? I think our reputation is out there in LinkedIn. I think we haven't had any fraud accusation or something or sort. So I think, then again, Aime, I think it's let me just be honest with you. I think it's up to you. That's up to you. I think if you can trust us to, I think if you can trust us to impact you with knowledge, I think you can again just trust us with your money. So I think that's up to you. I think if I may, let me remain neutral on that answer. I think
I might add something on that.
Yeah.
Orbital Beam Solutions is actually something that isn't really behind the scenes. There's a LinkedIn page that was shared, and also Samuel Muriuki has a LinkedIn page that I shared, and the WhatsApp group is actually open, meaning you can actually put in any concerns that you have. And yeah, I see Ayume is saying, I like your LinkedIn. Yeah, actually, he has a really good LinkedIn profile. And yeah, so when something is as public as LinkedIn, you can see that he has a lot of followers and that he engages with a lot of professionals. So he has a reputation. And I don't think it would be wise enough for him to actually ruin his reputation for as little money as $150. It doesn't even make sense in the first place. So that's something I can assure you of.
Yeah, that's why I was neutral about that question. But yeah, it's good. It's good. We all understand your fears, guys. We all understand your fears, because I think ideally here we can we have yes, Brian. We have samples of the certificates. Allow us to share in the group. Please join the WhatsApp group. I'll be sharing them there. We'll be sharing those samples there either today or tomorrow. They are either today or tomorrow. Brian, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Brian. Any other question, any other recommendation, guys? Any other recommendation? I can see I've gotten a chat from somebody on LinkedIn. He's saying that he's in Uganda and he would like to, when we are visiting one of the steel fabricating farm, he should be, he would love to join us. So you can see a guy who will sacrifice his time to come to Kenya and see that. Yeah, I think one thing as young engineers, as we end our class today, as we wind up our class today, is I would really want to say is more of forget about your bachelor's, forget about your degree, forget about everything, because one thing I've learned is that education system, especially here in Kenya, I can only speak about the education system here in Kenya. It conditions us to become employees at the end of the day. it normally conditions us to become employees. So you find that by the time you're getting you're graduating, you get so much frustrations because you don't get a job the way you're expecting. And you see, by the time you're graduating, you should be thinking of how to start your own, how to monetize your skills, and so on. And actually, one of the things we'll be touching on is how can you monetize our skills? Because right now I've been getting clients, maybe from LinkedIn, maybe from people, referrals and all that. And I'm getting those clients because I have maybe that skill, and I'm able to solve somebody's problem. Because at the end of the day, you're only going to get paid if you can be able to solve somebody's problem. And I'm telling you, I can guarantee you guys, just go do that experiment on LinkedIn. Just go LinkedIn now. If I'm lying, just go on LinkedIn right now and search how many Tekla jobs are advertised today. Just go search there. Just go search there right now and see how many, and that is just one aspect. How many Tekla jobs are being advertised. Of course, it takes, so Tekla, steel detailing, let me call it steel detailing, let me not say Tekla, but steel detailing is becoming a profession that is in demand right now, is in high demand right now. And because a lot of people are really embracing a lot of steel construction. Actually, we are having a discussion with Ahmad the other day. We are saying that we have now started seeing even structures, steel structures coming up in the CBD here in Nairobi. So that's the thing. So, Bruno, please mute yourself. I'm looking at the time difference. What happens when one misses the payment deadline but is really interested in joining the lesson even after the missed payment? So we're actually closing the registration tomorrow. We are closing the registration tomorrow. So you still have until tomorrow. Ahmad, what time? What time should we close the registration?
Well, it was supposed to be tomorrow, midnight.
Yeah. But Brian,
okay, whenever
Brian,
we mention aspect frame, it's usually in EAT.
Oh, your time is CAT, Central African time. Central African time. So it means
no CAT. Yeah.
Oh, CAT is Central African time, right?
Yeah.
So Central African time, are we ahead or are we ahead of them?
I think we're actually ahead.
With how many hours?
I'll have to check that.
CAT. Let me check. So CAT
1
time.
hour. Oh,
we are ahead.
Is it 1 hour? No.
Yeah, it's 1 hour. Yeah, Kenya is ahead with 1 hour. So CAT is just like in South Africa. South Africa, I think we are 2 hours ahead of them or something, or they are 2 hours ahead of us. I don't know. So I think for the brand, it's 150 for professions and 75 discounted, 50% discount for students. So 75 nini. I'm not having any an issue with orbital certificate, but I'm wondering the connection you have with Trimble so that it will certify us. It's not really a connection I have with Trimble. I'll just show you where to go and get that certificate. It's not really, I don't have any connection with it. Of course, Trimble, they know me, Aime, they know me. We interact with we normally talk with those product managers and all that, but ideally, I don't have any links with Trimble because I'm not a partner of Trimble, but I'll show you how to get those certificates from Trimble. Of course, you're going to do some assessment. You're not just going to get it for free. You're going to do some assessments. You're going to do some models, and you're going to do another whole curriculum so that you get that certificate. You're not going to get it for free. Any question, guys? Any question? It's good. We are engaging. It's good we are engaging. So I would really love to see you in class because it seems you can really. Will we pay additional money to Trimble? No, you're not going to pay any additional money to Trimble. Yeah, we're not going to pay additional money to Trimble. Yeah, well done. This is the 75 and 50 for the certificate after the class, all for registration. That's closing tomorrow. So this for everything. For the 75 and 150 is for everything, Nani, Latif. If you're a student, you pay 75, you're still going to get the same certificate as the profession who has paid 150. So it's only that because students, they are not earning, we have just allowed a discount for students, but for as long as certificate is concerned, you're going to get the same knowledge and the same certificates. No, you're not going to pay any additional money, guys. You're not going to pay any additional monies. The only thing that will prevent you from getting your certificate, if you don't submit your milestone on time, if you don't submit your assessments on time and all that. So that is something that will, yeah. I see a lot of concern on registration. Maybe you should show affiliation document to Trimble or anything that authorizes Obito to undertake training on behalf of Trimble. I'm not, Brian, I'm not doing training on behalf of Trimble. If I'll be doing training on behalf of Trimble, it means I'll be affiliated by them. I'm not affiliated by Trimble. I'm not affiliated with Trimble. The only thing is that in my career, I interacted with Trimble because I was working for their local partner here in Kenya. So I'm not really affiliated with Trimble. I'm only actually me. I'm just training from on the expertise on what the skills I have is just what I'm giving to people. I'm not really.
Can I add something on that?
Yeah.
As far as Trimble is concerned, it's not for Autodesk. They usually have Autodesk instructors, but for Trimble, what a partner means, it means that you're actually selling their softwares. It doesn't mean training partner. And I've never heard of Trimble certified instructor. I don't think they have such a thing. Maybe you can correct me. But basically what a partner means, it means you sell the software on their behalf.
Yeah, ideally what Trimble does, let's say for instance, they have the local partner here in Kenya who supports the whole of East and Central Africa. So the technical guy, I was the technical guy here in Kenya. So the technical guy is the one who is responsible for training all those clients who get the license. So the whole idea of training, I got it from there because I was training a lot of consultants and all that. When they get the licenses, they needed me to support them on the training and all that. So ideally, yeah. What do you ideally that's why, but I'm not really affiliated with Trimble. What do you really mean by a student? Is it someone learning the structural engineering for the first time and looking for a job? Come under it? Not really. But I think Lydia, please you can just inbox one of the guys. Just tag me on the group. I think the group where we have posted, just tag me in the group. I think I should be able to help you. Is there an option to pay in installment? Hilary, Ahmed, do you have an option of paying in installment?
Well, we can discuss that with management.
Yeah.
And perhaps you can give them an answer after a while, after we've discussed it.
Hilary, if you can just tag Ahmed on that group, and then he should be able to get back to you. Or just WhatsApp the Obito number. Just WhatsApp the Obito number with your name. Why is your name message in WhatsApp only 100 USD? Okay, so remember before these courses were separate, so we were doing TSD alone, technical structure alone. We didn't have a workflow. We are just doing, like, let's say it's a design class, it's a detailing class, and that's when we were charging. So the day when we combined them, we just said we just give them a discount of 50. So instead of doing it at $200, we do it at 150. Brian, yeah, now you understand. Okay, all right, completely understood. Okay. From my understanding, I don't think, okay, it's a part. No, you are not part of Trimble. I'm just providing the skills I have. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, definitely. King Bisanka is there. Yeah. Guys, just go through my LinkedIn. Just go through my LinkedIn profile kindly. Just go through my LinkedIn profile. I think it was pasted. If you just scroll a few charts up, you should be seeing my LinkedIn profile. Any other question, guys? Any other question, guys? Yeah, it has been pasted there. Just go through there. Yeah, I don't think yeah, Janelle, Jenny, like I'm not sure. I'm not sure, but maybe they're there. Okay, Brian, can you guarantee that after I have learned modeling, analysis, and design from Orbiter and I am certified, I'll be able to get an added advantage as a job applicant with the Orbiter certification? Yeah, in simple terms, is it recognized? As I had mentioned before, that the certificate that might be recognized, that might be really recognized is the Trimble certificate. Let me not say not really our Orbiter certificate, because remember, right now is when we are getting recognized out here. Right now, a lot of people might not be knowing about us. Not a lot of people really know about. Most people who know about us is the more clients who have been working with us, because if you can check, Orbiter has been there now for like 5 months. But at the end of the day, of course, we reach that point of recognition, because at the end of the day, our value, we are not just going to give you that certificate for the sake of you have finished the course. No, you are going to earn that certificate with what you're going, what you're going to be presenting to us. So ideally, it's not really per se. Right now, we might not be recognized, but in the future, yes, our certificate will hold some heavy merits. Yeah, because you're not just going to, our certificate is not just a handout. It's something that you're going to earn. What you are assured are the skills. Yeah, definitely the skills you are assured.
One thing I can add is that a portfolio is also very important. I was attending one of actually I'm the one who organized one of our mentorship sessions with an engineer from NAS, a company called NAS that deals with traffic systems. So what he told us back then, I think it was about more than a year ago, and it's something that I've kept in my mind ever since, to today, is that when you come to his company, now these are smart employers. These are not the normal, traditional employers. As he told us that when you come to me with your AutoCAD certificate, in fact, with your Autodesk authorized certificate for AutoCAD, I won't really care about that certificate. What I care about is what you can do for me. So you will come to me with a certificate, but I'm going to give you a computer. You said you can, you can generate drawings with AutoCAD. Okay, then do it. Let me see. So that's what he said, and it's what all smart employers do. That's why part of this course, there are deliverables that are actually very important to do, so that you can be gauged and corrected as you go through the learning process.
Yes, I think, guys, let me tell you something. I'll be honest with you. As we speak right now, me as Samuel, I don't hold any bachelor's in civil engineering. Right now, you can see in my profile is when I'm pursuing my bachelor's in civil engineering. But what matters out here, I'll be honest with you, especially in our market here in Kenya, what matters is a skill. Let me tell you that right now, even today, I don't even remember where my diploma is, because I have a diploma in civil engineering. I don't even know where my diploma is, because no one has ever asked me about how far have you. Actually, most people think I have a master's. So one thing you guys need to understand is that skills comes first, then your papers. Of course, papers are good, they'll back up. So at the end of the day, focus on the skills, guys. Focus on the skills. So guys, no, I totally get your fears. I totally get all you think, but at the end of the day, I'm sorry to say so. We live in a free world, and you are free. Just the way I said in our class, we'll have a free class. You're free to ask any question. You're free to have your own free mind and all that. But at the end of the day, the bottom line is, are you skilled or you're not? That's the bottom line at the end of the day. In as much you question or whatever. Because one thing, guys, I don't want you to have what you call the imposter syndrome. I don't want you guys to think you know, but you don't know. So at the end of the day, guys, please, let's focus. Let me tell you one thing. It's not a must. Let me put it like this. Let me not use that. It's not a must you come to me to get the skill. Because like for me, I've never enrolled for a class of Tekla. I've just taught myself. The good thing is that I was lucky enough to be able to get all the resources of Trimble, to be able to learn Tekla very fast, and to be able to get, I used to get the premium resources for Trimble and the premium courses and all that. But at the end of the day, how successful you're going to be, it depends on you. It's on you. It's not on me. I can be the best teacher, or you can have the best support, but you're the one who has that decision. You're the one who has that decision. So actually, today, for those people who have my number, for today, for those who have, I don't know, some of the people who has my WhatsApp number, they saw the status I had done very early in the morning. It was 4 a.m. So, and the status was reading like this: the only person who is coming to save you is a version of you that is sick of the current version of you. So at the end of the day, your success, you won't owe it to me, you'll owe it to yourself. Okay? So at the end of the day, it's your decision. And I'm not just saying that to convince you to enroll for the course, no. But at the end of the day, whatever step you're going to make in your life, or whatever step you're going to make toward the success of your career, it's your own decision and it's your own initiative. So at the end of the day, guys, you owe it to yourself. So I think it's very impressive course content. Question just to have clarity on expectations. Otherwise, the fact that we are here for 2 hours is because we want the skills, and we can trust you to pass them necessary. Yeah, definitely. Let me tell you guys, I wouldn't advertise for something that I know I won't see it through. So I think yeah. So anyway, guys, is there any other questions? Is there any other question? Because I feel we really need to wind up. We really need to wind up. Is there any other question? Any other question, guys? Okay, I feel guys, it was a really interactive session. For the people who will enroll, please, we'll meet in class. We'll have more interaction. We'll get to know each other. We'll get to understand steel design. We'll get to discuss a lot of things. We'll give stories. It will be an open class. It will be a really interactive. Class. Yeah, I wish to see you in class, guys. I wish to see you all in class, and at least we get to understand each other. Guys, thanks so much for your time. Thanks so much for your time. Thanks so much for the patience for that 1 hour and a half. And also looking forward. Thanks for the questions. Thanks for the questions. And looking forward to seeing most of you in the class. Let us learn still, guys. Let us learn still, guys. Anyway, guys, good evening to the people who are in.
Hello. Before you cut.
Yes. Yeah.
The WhatsApp, the link you shared, I tried to join, haven't yet joined.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can't say anything. Then can you also just share it again? I think one of my colleagues missed it. It's part of this
Okay,
meeting.
guys. Yeah, please share the WhatsApp, guys, the WhatsApp group, guys.
Then even the approval, I think they've not yet approved.
Oh, it will be.
Yeah, the approval.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thanks.
Okay, Brian. Thanks, guys. Thanks, guys. I wish to see you in class. I wish to see you in class. We get to know each other. We get to know each other more, and at least you never know. We can meet one of these days in the airports as we travel to go to work, to go to different places for work. So, guys, cheers. Good night. Good day to those people. Good morning to all those. Yeah. Good day, guys. Good day, guys. Good night. Good night, guys.